You're welcome back. This is Newsfile, it's your most authoritative news analysis platform, and here on Newsfile we put Ghana first, and it's brought to you by the candid sponsorship of Bank of Africa, strong as a group and close as a partner, MTN everywhere you go, Ashesi University, educating ethical and entrepreneurial leaders for Africa, Robert and Sons Optical Services, your comprehensive eye care services provider for 31 years. Edlom Housing, where spacious homes cost less. DBS Industries, we truly are your roof expert. CBG, we stand with you. Fabrimental, your partner in steel. Duraplus, where Duraplus goes, water flows. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all. And here is Samson's stake. I title it, Checking and Publishing Facts. That's basic core journalism. I must sound like a broken record on this subject, but we must keep talking, educating, and debating until we get rid of the few reckless guys giving the media profession bad press. We must not rest until we secure better protection of free speech and media freedoms. This week, I was in court for a journalist. On Monday, I must be in court for 4 journalists. So, I defend and fight for journalism and media freedoms. There is such great joy and pride working for journalists and media entities that uphold the highest professional and ethical standards. Practicing independent, fearless, credible, and critical journalism actually require the discipline of keeping to the rules of the game. We often like to cite foreign journalists and media when talking about standards, but some of the very best are right here in Ghana. The Fourth Estate of the Media Foundation for West Africa does investigative and research journalism, painstakingly gathering the hard facts, including by RTI request, verifying and thoroughly analyzing information before publishing them. Yes, media will make mistakes because it's human beings that run them. They get sued, and sometimes we go begging for forgiveness for journalists. And sometimes even that may come with cost. Some demand hefty or modest amounts as compensation or punishment for the reputational damage. It's difficult to rebuild that. In fact, a journalist, one reckless act has collapsed an entire media organization and put the owners into debt and poverty. Just one reckless act of one journalist. Like any other profession, you will encounter people without principle in the media. Some are hired partisans. Some engage in criminal blackmail and extortion. And some are simply ignorant yet arrogant, strong, yet wrong. So often. The consensus among media watchers is that Akufo-Addo's government has a terrible free press record, starting with the decision to shut down radio stations opposed to it. Don't tell me Radio Gold and Radio XYZ suffered for not keeping up with the regulatory and authorization renewal payments. It would not have resorted to shutdowns for stations sympathetic to it. The regulator and those in charge know for a fact that there was the opportunity to give them room to make amends and stay in business. In those situations, the law is not only enforced by shutdowns, and that's why other equally guilty stations were not dealt with in same fashion. The apparent and near default resort to sections 207 and 208 of the Criminal Offences Act by the state, instead of allowing recourse to the civil tort of defamation by affected individuals, may smack of a veiled revival of criminal libel, which we repealed in July 2001 under Nana Akufo-Addo as Attorney General. But why cry oppression of free speech and free press if all you specialize in the name of journalism is publication of false news, outright lies, barefaced, spirited insults, abuse and scurrilous abuse of political opponents, judges, and almost everybody you disagree with? We will fight trumped-up charges against critical journalists, but what have arrest over suspected private criminal acts got to do with attack on media freedoms? If your private conduct is criminal and you are caught, why cry press freedom is under attack? If you hand the microphone to someone who blames her depravities on relapses as though she is the only sufferer of the condition, and as if there was ever a 24/7 all year round relapse state for bipolar sufferers. I mean, I can't vouch for anyone, but if you hand her the mic to destroy reputations and marriages without first checking with those she accuses, you are rather undermining free press by neglecting to uphold the very basic standards and ethics of journalism. I was at the police, and this woman was invited because she had accused a number of people, claiming Samia Wuku and Kujo Yangson had information given to him suggesting that she would be killed. She was asked right in her face, and she admitted that no such thing was told her. I was learning for the first time that Samia Wuku had conversation with her only since 2017. There has never been any contact, and it must have been just once. And she admitted all of that. You host her in your studio, allow her to spew all sorts of things on people and damage their reputations and marriages. You don't even bother to verify and give the others the opportunity. You are a media owner or manager. When was the last time you organized some training for your staff, especially those who did not attend journalism school? You're a journalist who thrives on politicians hailing you, even where you admit in your privacy that you got it wrong. What kind of a journalist are you? But whatever offensive conduct put up by a journalist, it is unconstitutional and criminal to assault them. Dear IGP, your men assaulted a Connect FM producer. While you have committed to institute disciplinary action against them, please put them before the court as swiftly as you do for others. Read my take for more on the few journalists undermining press freedom. We'll be right back to deal with the matters we are canvassing for you this morning.